Hi guys, S.L.Ager here, author of the 11 plus vocabulary novels and their accompanying workbooks. You can see those behind me. I just wanted to pop on today because I see so many mistakes made with these words, confusing the use of these words. And I too was very guilty of this before I started studying with my children for the 11 plus. And that is the confusion between these two words. So that's practice with an S here, which is the verb form, and practice with a C, which is the noun form. And I think the reason why these two get confused more than others is that they are homophones. So like license and license, spelt with an S and a C, they're homophones. So this is why they're so difficult to discern and why people constantly get them confused. And when I was trying to explain this to my children, we kind of devised a little bit of a trick, which certainly helped them, and it might help you as well. So if you're writing a sentence which includes license or practice, the homophones, what you can do is write out your sentence. And if you're unsure whether to use practice with an S, which is the noun, the verb form, or practice with a C, which is the noun form, swap the word advise or advice into the sentence, because then you might be able to hear the difference and it'll help you to work out which spelling of practice, which part of speech to use in that sentence, because you know that you should be using a verb or you should be using a noun, probably, but you just can't hear the difference and it's confusing. So this, if you do this, this will often give you the right answer or the right advice. See what I did there? Okay, so I'll just give you a little example. It's a rough example, and because this will need to pop into your mind very quickly, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So here we go. I am not sure when to practice my French today. So if we're thinking, yikes, is that a verb or a noun? Well, you've got two clues. The fact that you've put to practice should help you realise that you are talking about a verb. But if you swap advise into there and advice, let's see if you can hear the difference. I am not sure when to advise my French today. I am not sure when to advice my French today. So it's not the best example, but I can hear that I should be using the S in practice, like to advise and to practice. Okay, so here's another one. I am not sure how to practice. Again, the two should give us a clue. But if we put advise and advice in there, so I am not sure how to advise, I am not sure how to advice, it gives us a really good clue there that we should be using advise, therefore we should be using practice with an S. And I'll give you another one. I am not sure how to advise. So if we swap advice in there, I'm not sure how to advise, it's wrong. So therefore it should give us an idea whether we should be using S or C when we're using practice and license. And I know it might sound easy to some adults, but it's very confusing for children. And before, as I say, before I was studying with my kids for the 11 plus, I didn't even think about it. So I don't even know what I was doing. I may have used practice with a C and an S and just used them arbitrarily without even thinking whether practice with an S was the verb form and practice with a C was the noun form. Another thing, because we've talked about sort of conjugating in the infinitive, so to practice, to remember whether something is a noun, think of it as a thing, like a medical practice, a dental practice. If you're talking about your flute practice, then that practice is actually a thing. Although it's an abstract noun, it's still a thing. So that would be with a C and not an S. Think about verbs as an action that you're actually going to be doing, whereas if you want to think of using the noun form with a C, it's an actual thing. But because it is quite abstract, it's quite hard to remember. So swapping advise and advice into sentences might help you. And it's worth saying as well, in American English, in United States English, for practice and license, they only use the S form, so they have no differential between a verb and a noun. It's just all S, which leads me on to say that in English, in British English, if you find yourself writing, so conjugating a verb such as I am practicing, and you write that with a C, it's wrong, because if you're conjugating verbs, it's always going to be the S form. So I practiced, if you're writing that with a C, is wrong. It needs to take the S form. I will practice, S. I will be practicing. So if you find you're writing sentences where you're conjugating a verb and you're using C, it should be S. And for the United States English, it's always S. So this isn't really an issue, but it could be something you question yourself over if you're reading books or your children are reading books written in United States English. So I hope that helps. It certainly helped with my children. If it has helped, it'd be great if you could hit the like button below. And if you want more videos, please subscribe to my channel, because I will be updating with all the tips and tricks that I used, which I felt helpful with my children. Thank you. Bye. Thanks for watching.